Good rising, good rising, we have another day. Good rising, hey, 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 hey. Good rising, we have another day. Hallelujah. Good rising, I am just waking up. and I have been in the Psalms lately, reading and just enjoying going through there. But I'm wanting to chronicle something because these are things that I don't think about because there's been so much over the course of my lifetime. And I'm chronicling this as I remember it for myself and to help others identify when people are not for you from the heart. They're just playing like it to keep you around so they can keep doing certain things. Um, Essentially trying to curse you and then monitor you to see how their curses are going. Uh, when I was pregnant, I have two children. I've only been pregnant twice. I have two children. They are now grown, ages 30 and 32. And I'm thankful for them. I love my son and my daughter, as I have expressed so many times. Just thinking about them makes me laugh and smile. But anyway, when I was pregnant with my son, he was my first baby, um, and I was married, okay, even before conception. Not that it has anything to do with anything. I'm just telling you my story. I got married first, um, and then a little piece later down the road, maybe like a year or so later, maybe a little bit over a year later, I was pregnant, conceived our son. Okay. During that pregnancy, um, and I didn't have any trouble with either one of my pregnancies, not labor nor not carrying them, nor labor and delivery, and I'm thankful for that too. I'm not gloating. I'm not boasting. I'm thankful. Okay. Um, During my pregnancy, I was talking to someone on the phone. Uh, and the person that I was talking to would be like an elder to me. All right. And out of nowhere, the best of my remembrance, because this has been over 30 something years ago. Like I said, my son is 32. The person said to me, "You need to watch yourself and be careful." And the way they put it, they said that somebody else had told them to tell me this. Now, why they were discussing me with somebody else, that's something within itself. Okay. Because these are not supposed to be enemies, or the one I was talking to wasn't. But the person told me, you want to be careful how you are acting or being or something like that, because you don't want to give birth to a monster. That's what was said. Okay. Now the and that's pretty much a quote. Okay. Um, at the time, because even though I had a flag in my spirit and have always had a flag in my spirit about this person, I took it and tried to mind myself, mind my emotions and all that, because a woman who is carrying a baby, you do want to make sure that you're at peace. But I was at peace. I was at peace. It kind of baffled me when the person made that statement, because I was at peace. Why would you say that? Why would this other person say that to tell you to tell me that? As if something was going on where I wouldn't be at peace, which does affect uh, a woman's pregnancy and affect a baby. I was at peace. Where did that come from? Let me tell you. Hell. And both persons, the one that supposedly it came from, if that was true, and the one that said it, are citizens of hell. Okay? And what that is, what it was trying to pronounce a curse under the guise of expressing words of concern. This is how dark witches work. And I'm gonna throw this in here. That dream, not dream, that wasn't even a dream. Uh, when I woke up as a child from woke up out of my sleep and was seeing and feeling. Like I said, I see and feel in the spirit realm. Okay. Uh, and felt snakes and saw snakes everywhere. It would have been inappropriate. What spirit was showing me way back then, y'all, I'm 57, but I saw this way back as a child. I think I may have been, had I started, I think I may have been like in elementary school, something, or maybe younger. I don't know. What spirit was showing me that was in the energy around, somewhere circling around, was not just the evil that a snake represents in the Western mindset, because I know in the Eastern mindset, snakes can represent wisdom, okay? But with the Western mindset, what I was being shown was a lot of evil in the vicinity. But even more so than that, what spirit, what spirit was showing me was a bunch of people slithering around on each other. And I'll let you figure out what that is. It starts with an O. These secret societies and organizations that say you're one thing, but what you actually do and what you actually practice behind closed doors, y'all are crumbling. You're coming down. I'm only one. As I have said before, I am a voice. And I assure you, I'm just publicly joining the vocal club. I'm hearing people. I was listening to a woman yesterday, and I'm subscribed to her. I was listening to her yesterday. She be coming through, okay? The messages that she's getting, and I know she's hearing from divine. She be coming through, crying loud and sparing not. So I am a voice. She is a voice. There are many of us that will not and shall not be silent, and we are protected despite all the stuff you've tried to do. Okay? Talking about words of curse that people say under the guise of trying to exhort or encourage or give words of wisdom. Okay? Pay attention to your intuition. I'm not saying be intuition is different from than suspicion. It's different from not having a sound mind. And then also they'll ask questions. This one's just coming to me. They'll ask you a lot of questions. For instance, they'll either pose it like it's something they're going through, or it may be something that they're going through because what they sent to you is backfiring on them. For example, asking, yeah, I just sometimes I just have to reread stuff and blah blah blah, and it's like I can't think. Do you ever feel like that? Hell no. Why should I? I have the spirit of power tempered by love and a sound mind. No, I don't. Now, I understand we're human beings. Sometimes it does take a while to sit down and to get into whatever it is you're getting into. Um, because, for example, I look at numbers, and not only just numbers. Uh, the main thing, some things have to line up and make sense. And in some of the things I look at, I'm looking at numbers. Well, in the morning when I'm first looking at stuff, if I haven't had a cup of coffee, you know, numbers can look crazy. I'm giving you the normal part, the human part of it. And something cannot be balancing when I first, start looking at things. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to have to blah blah blah. And then I'll be like, okay, well, let me take a minute, let me go get my morning cup of coffee. I'll go fix my morning cup of coffee, excuse me, and get back and sit down and look at it, and I'm like, okay, everything, and take a few sips, everything looks fine. That's human. Okay. But when somebody is asking you, especially multiple times, they're trying to check on something. These are clues, y'all. Clues that you may not pay attention to. They may raise a flag in your spirit, but because of who is coming from, you think they're just sharing and relating. Because maybe you're around the same age, or and you're trying to see, as we get older, we experience different things. Okay, that's normal. Okay. But when somebody's asking you a pattern over time about your thought process, and do you have essentially have trouble thinking? No, I don't. When somebody is asking you over a period of time, you get together with them, and they're notably, you look back and they notably asking you, when you feel fine, do you feel okay? Why are you trying to plant a seed in my mind that I don't feel okay? I feel fine. I feel divinely fine and up to the task at hand. What the hell are you talking about? Now, this last thing, like I say, I'm chronicling. This last thing that I'm going to share, and like I said, I'm chronicling for my purposes and also for, like I said, people to get a clue when something's going on beyond the surface. Y'all excuse me with the sniffling, um, allergy, and really just waking up, okay? There has, let's see, I don't even think I'm going to say that part. I had an experience, and the person would likely deny it and say I'm lying. But we all, it according to what we have been raised in and believe, we all have a judgment day coming. This Christians, right? And even though I'm not Christian, I come out of that. That's how I was raised. Okay, and I may not necessarily think like this anymore, but I was raised in it. I was steeped in it, and the people that I have been around have been raised and steeped in it, so they definitely believe in a judgment day coming, and that there's a Jordan to cross eventually. Okay, and so my point in saying that is, I know I'm telling the truth, knowing that one day I have to come out of this body, and from a Christian standpoint, I'm coming back to your level, Christians, knowing I have to come out of this body and face a judgment before divine. What I am about to share with you is true and was said, though the person who said it would likely tell you I'm lying, because the person that told me this when I mentioned it a few years down the road said they didn't say it. Chronicling. When a person that is supposed to be close to you, and I'm not going to call any names, and I'm not even going to call ties, tells you that someone that you dearly love, and y'all are all supposed to love each other, okay? So you can't pinpoint any of what I'm saying, and only hit dogs holler, okay? But I'm sharing this, like I said, for my chronicles, because I don't walk around thinking about this stuff on the daily. So when it comes back to me, I want to chronicle it. And I'm sharing it again for the third time, so that when people who come by here that are on a spiritual journey and you haven't yet come to the place where you identify the enemy sitting right next to you, maybe laying right next to you, the enemy you're going and spending leisure time with, you'll get a clue and start going, your intuition, you'll learn to trust it. When somebody in your life that you love and they're supposed to love you tells you that somebody else in your life th- that you love dearly doesn't seem like the relationship or the title that they are to the other people that you love. They just seem like people you're connected to. Now I'm gonna let you fill in the blanks of how it went for you. This is how I'm going to put it. They're really telling, in this case, that person was really telling me something without actually telling me. Okay? These are things to file away. Don't just throw them away and say, oh, so and so's, you know, crazy, or so and so's getting older. You got to overlook. No, don't overlook. Pay attention. Even if you don't say anything, it's not for you to say anything all the time, but make note, because a wolf in sheep's clothing cannot sustain being a sheep 24/7. At some time, that wolf's tail or that wolf's fang is going to have to come out and show itself. Okay? This is yet another chronicle. Good rising to and peace to those who have a spirit of peace, who are on your journey and would not do to another person what they wouldn't want done to themselves. None of us is perfect. We have human experiences and go through human things, but if your hands are not lifted to do evil against another person, you just want to live and let live. Good rising to you. Peace be unto you. And may your way be smooth. But if you are of a citizen of hell, or a citizen of the lower vibrational realms, all the karma that you are, and yes, there is such a thing as karma. Yes, there is. Ancient text, more so than calling it the Bible, because I said the Bible comes from ancient texts. And yes, it has been added to and taken away from, but the ancients knew what they were talking about. When it says that there is a time for sowing and a time for reaping, and when it says that things sown are reaped, I mean, nature tells you that. Farming and agriculture tells you that what's sown is going to come up. Romans 1 tells us that the spiritual things can be gleaned, and God, divine, can be gleaned and seen and shown and characteristics shown by creation. Yes, there is such a thing as karma. When Genesis tells us, as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest, that's not just agriculture. Natural parallel spirit. And there was a spirit earth before there was a natural earth. I'm not going to start yelling this morning because I have yet to take a swig of water. All right. Y'all, high vibrational people, be at peace. Divine is working it out. Lower vibration, you're going through your karma, and you're going to drink every bit of the cup that you poured for the people you hate. All right. We'll talk later.